Okay, we are back. We are going to start playtesting our burn deck. Let's see how this goes. It is, as you can see, red, white, black. We've got the Faithless Looting to help smooth out some of our draws. Let's see. This hand has a couple of good burn spells, and we can loot for some more. And we've got red mana, although not until turn 2. I think that is going to be okay. Okay, our Godless Shrine will come and tap so that we can play the red source untap next turn. Spark Trooper will get there eventually. Alright, looks like we are against an aggressive deck. Probably the Gruul or Naya Blitz. Okay, we've got Pillar Flame, Faithless Looting. Do we need this land? We could Faithless Looting this turn to ditch it for more gas. Yeah, we do want that land because it's a white source, which, yeah, it's our 4th mana for Spark Trooper. So I'm going to go ahead and pass the turn, and I can Searing Spear or Boros Charm. Probably Boros Charm, because I could use Searing Spear against a creature if I absolutely had to. Probably going to try not to, just because it's better against the player. We really have, it's a race from 20 to 0. Okay, Burning Tree Emissary. So our opponent's kind of going off here. Slinterhoof Boar is a real pain in the matchup. Okay. Spark Trooper is really going to help us here. Is it worth using Searing Spear to kill Slinterhoof Boar? I think we might have to. We've got Spark Trooper for the race, but otherwise it gets a bit grim. Bump of the Night will definitely help get in a little bit of damage for a low cost. Okay, let's go ahead and use Looting to see what we can dig to. Then we can Pillar of Flame one of the creatures if we would need to preserve our life total. I think I would rather just Boros Charm to the face. Okay, yeah. I think I'll save the Boros Charm. Next turn we've got Spark Troopers, so we're not doing as badly in the race as it might look. So we really want to just maximize as much damage as we can. Rancor is a pain. I wish that we had our Searing Spear still, but it's too late for that. Okay. First Strike, Trample. Alright, so they are going to attack for a total of 7. We're going to swing back with our Spark Trooper next turn to get 6, plus we'll gain 6, so that'll definitely help. So this isn't too bad. Okay. So we should be safe here attacking with our Spark Trooper. I'm kind of surprised I haven't seen Spark Trooper in some of these aggressive decks, but I guess they would mostly rather be playing Hell Rider since they have a ton of creatures. Hell Rider's obviously pretty terrible in our deck because, or would be, because we don't have other creatures to gain benefit from. But a deck like this that's always attacking with 3 or 4 creatures, Hellraiser gets a lot of additional value from. We're probably never going to play this Isolated Chapel, despite the fact that we could try and get to Bump in the Night's Flashback. We are much more likely to Faithless Loot it. Okay, so we've got 4, 6, 7, 10. So our opponent has lethal. So we're going to have to do something at this point. We've got 3, 5 damage. I'm going to go ahead and Faithless Loot. Let's see what we get. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and Pillar of Flame the Rakdos Cackler because we'll die otherwise. He'll be able to recast the Rancor, but he'll have to use his mana to do it. I think that's the best deal we're likely to get. Flashback would not kill my opponent even if we... Flashback on Bump of the Night will not kill my opponent even if we have Searing Spear in before then. So my land is pretty much useless. I can flashback Faithless Looting if I need to. But if I don't draw something like a Boros Charm or a... is it worth taking out the Reckoner? If we did take out the Reckoner, we would take 6 this turn. We'd be down to 4. That's not quite lethal. If we do not, we'll take 5, 6, 7, 8. So we will have our opponent to 4. Yeah, I think our best bet is taking drawing one of the 8+ cards that can do 4 damage out of our deck. And obviously, just hope that our opponent... how likely is our opponent to have Searing Spear? Reasonably likely. I still think this is our best bet. Okay. Oh, I forgot, of course, I forgot to Searing Spear end of turn. That is a problem. Let's see if our opponent lets us resolve with Vexing Devil. Yeah. So we cannot win that, but we probably would not have otherwise. Okay, against our opponent, creatures that block are extra good, so Boros Reckoner is good here. Trader's Bullet is okay, but it's slow. Rakdos Charm isn't terrible. Deathrite Shaman is pretty good. Let's see if there's things that we want to take out. Skullcrack may be our least good card, because it only does 3 damage and it has to do it to a player. Our opponent will not be gaining life. We'll see how that goes. Okay. We've got some lootings. We'll probably dump one looting to the other, but that's okay. We've got Boros Reckoner, which is, again, a really good card in this matchup. For both sides, of course. As before, I will play the Plains first so that I can play Clifftop Retreat next turn untapped. Alright, Reckless Wave is extra good because we will be casting spells a lot, so our opponent will be less likely to be able to flip his or her Reckless Wave. Okay, let's see what our opponent's doing here. Our opponent may have, I was going to say, Burning Tree Emissary. Emissary is, of course, the ideal card for our opponent to draw from their perspective. Okay, so we got our Reckoner online. That can help hold off some of the little guy's damage. Can also trade with a Front Hoof Boar and do damage to Burning Tree Emissary or the opponent or something, which is another reasonable option. Okay, I'm gonna block the Burning Tree. Our opponent may have something to kill the Reckoner, but if so, it'll probably be a burning spell, so we'll still get value. Alright, so we get to deal a ton of damage straight to the opponent's face. That is a reasonable trade. Because it's so much, I will just deal it straight to the opponent. If it were a smaller number, I would have probably killed the Flint Hoof Boar. Our opponent has 7 on board. Damage-wise. Okay, we'll definitely drop a Faithless Looting and Deathrite Shaman, which means we'll save Boros Charm. So next turn we would be able to Boros Charm Thunderbolt. Sorry, Pillar of Flame Thunderbolt, I mean. So that's a total of 5, 9. Which means, that we may be better off killing creatures. Because if this turn plus next turn would not kill our opponent, it's a problem. Let's see. So this would bring our opponent to 7, and we've got 5 more. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and Boros Charm this turn. I could Pillar of Flame just to save an extra 2 damage. But if we do draw a damage spell, we'll be able to just win. So I will try and hold off on using damage spells against anything but the opponent. Okay, this time we will end step. Oh, that would have been awesome if our opponent played Stomping Grounds untapped. Wow, no first strike. No Ash Zealot first main phase. That's interesting. I wonder if our opponent thought we had something that we did not. Alright, we can do straight up 6 damage, but that is obviously not quite enough. This is a difficult matchup. I'm trying to think of things we could do to improve them at a later time. Maybe the 2/1 first striking artifact defender, because most of their creatures would be blocked by that really well. Tell my opponent good game. And have to scoop it up.